speaks to the police. He then finds the ship's onboard chaplain, Father Rafael Molina, and cries to him for about 15 minutes. Then he goes to the harbour master's office to receive probably the biggest dressing down of his entire life.
Sniffles! Oh, thank you for the hydrate.
Costa Concordia. Ship of dreams.
Ship of dreams.
It's been 8 years. I can still smell the
Look at those
buffets from their
fancy
5 restaurants. The casino and
restaurants?
3-story theatre
Jack,
had
when are you
hardly
taking me
been
out on a
used.
cruise?
The gym, the day spa, the sheets in her 1,500 luxurious cabins.
Phantom!
Slept in.
Thank you for the coffee
Costa
donation.
Concordia
Thank
cost
you.
$570
Thank you so much.
million to build. And you could tell. You
$570 million. Yeah. The Costa Concordia, not Commandacordia.
I remember it like it was just a few years ago.
Wow.
We had left Civitavecchia, a port in Rome, and we were making our way to Savona. It was day 2 of our 7-day journey. But that ship, she was cursed.
What's cursed?
When she premiered, the traditional bottle of champagne bounced right off the side instead of smashing.
A bad omen. But I'm not the supersticious type. Nothing could go wrong on Friday the
The fucking
13th
bottle didn't break.
of January,
Why?
2012.
Why Friday? What? Any day but Friday. New member, JC Lovers, thank you. Happy birthday, beautiful. Hope you're well soon. Best wishes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I hope this cold passes. I'm so lucky, right? It'd be like, I was actually born on a Friday 17, no.
On the 100th year anniversary of the Titanic, on a ship that's also only safety rated for
Worst
2
captain
compartment
in the
flooding.
history.
Especially not when you have a 5-star max level captain like Francisco Scatino, a man who mysteriously rose from head of security to the position of captain within just a couple of years. He knows
How is that even a thing? Like, how do you go from security to captain? At this point, I probably watched all of his videos at least 5 times. My goodness, Les.
Exactly what to do in
My
case of an
goodness.
emergency.
For example, when he caused this emergency in 2008, when he crashed into a port in Sicily.
What the
And in
fuck?
2010, in Venom, Germany, when he was steering a different
Love
ship
the
and
picture.
came into port too fast and caused another collision.
He looks so soft.
I've got a good feeling about this.
Yeah, I got a good
So let's
feeling
set the
about this too.
It's a beautiful evening. People are having fun on the slides, drinks at the bar.
Look at those
Antonio
fancy
Magnotta
fucks.
is playing piano at the restaurant.
Look at them. Are you this is a good time sitting there, going on a show, drinking martinis, dancing in the cocktail lounge. Yeah. They're just like surrounded by fancy fucks.
Martin the Magician is setting up for his show. And the ship is setting up for a little detour.
Magicians.
It's called a sail by salute. Basically, you get real close to the shore and honk the horn. The locals hate it, but the customers love it, and it's a tradition. Scatino, the captain, comes into the dining hall with a lady, Dominica Samorton. Remember this face because you'll be seeing a lot of it later. Scatino eats his dinner with her and socializes for a little while. Then he
It feels so stiff, and they're all wearing like their cocktail suits. You know, you gotta dress up just to go to dinner. You can't just like rock up in I don't know, t-shirts.
I'm also stiff.
What the fuck? So random. Bobby, what the hell? Can't just like
Dominica and the
running
maitre
in
d'
from the back.
finish up and
Also
excuse
stiff,
themselves.
like, what
They're
the hell?
heading to the bridge. It's time for that sail
Brought
by
me cheese
salute.
sandwiches,
This time,
chat.
they're going to get closer than ever.
Cheese sandwich.
Just 1,500 feet from the island of Giglio. And how are they going to
Giglio?
determine this distance? Well, of course, the captain is going to eyeball it.
Okay.
Apparently, it's
Awesome.
not an uncommon thing to do.
Uh-huh.
Scatino turns to the fella steering.
You think with a ship like that costs like 570 million, right? You think a ship like that, you have like some kind of autopilot or like an assistant, like, you know, to just dock at the harbor?
His helmsman, Jacob Russell.
Crazy.
First interesting tidbit. Costa Crociere has hired Jacob
What's up with that fucking staff, man? They're so sus.
from Indonesia at a rock bottom price. And he's a bit of a newbie to the job. In fact, his profession
newbie?
hitherto, a painter and a cleaner. It's his
Wow.
first time steering a massive ship, and
What
he's
the
very
hell?
excited. At
He's
least
very
we think he
excited.
is. It's hard to tell because he doesn't speak English or Italian very
Oh,
well at
no.
all. Off to a good start. The second
Yeah,
in
can't
command
even
orders
talk
the
to him.
helmsman to 290.
Very sus.
Now, don't be confused by these numbers, they're just the degrees on a compass.
Yeah.
At the same time, the captain whips out his cell phone and calls former captain Mario Palombo, who lives on the
no.
island. They chat about the safe distance to Giglio's shores. It's all very casual. Anyway, Mario says that the safe distance is between 0.3 and 0.4 miles from shore.
Oh, no.
The captain is going all in. This is not his first sail by salute, so he's confident in what
No.
he's doing. We're going
knows.
closer than we've
Captain
ever
Crash
been
got
before.
this.
The captain's eyeballing it again. New heading of 300, he tells the
Oh,
helm.
shit.
Downstairs, Martin is about to cut his assistant in half. And of course, that means that there's already a lady inside this box. She's waiting for the cue, and then she'll poke her legs out. The captain is giving more orders. Pulling gently to
Oh,
310.
shit.
Increase speed to 16
He
knots.
wants to get real
Going
close.
this fast is going to be a fatal error. But before we talk about that, let's talk about another
That
big
is
problem.
fast, man.
Language
16
barrier.
knots.
Because at this point, the captain says 325, but the helmsman relays 315.
Oh, no.
So the first officer intervenes and he goes, no, 335, which is also wrong. And then the captain clarifies, no, 325.
Oh,
the helmsman
shit.
confirms 325. Their poor communication has them moving at a much wider angle than they think they are. However, the captain should and would know this, except for the next problem, complacency about procedure. The standard procedure
This
of a
is all
ship this
kinds of
large
wrong,
is for the
man.
third officer
How?
to give
How is
exact
that even
positional
possible?
coordinates every time the captain gives a new directional order. But they're not doing that.
Oh, no.
330, he says. The helmsman relays 330. The ship reaches 16 knots. The captain then turns to the second officer and instructs him to go to the left wing. That's these
Here
things
we
here,
go, boys.
and they basically exist so you can get a better view over the whole vessel.
Yeah.
A few seconds pass, and then the mood starts to turn. Scatino
Poor
notices white
communication once
foam
again
of waves
ruins the
breaking against the
relationship
rocks
and sinks
directly in
ships.
front
It
of him
does.
in the distance. The Costa Concordia, right now, is almost 700
fast
meters
if you
closer to
think
the
about,
rocks
like,
than
ship.
it should be. Without deviation,
For such a big
there is going
ship.
to be a direct collision.
Oh shit!
Scatino immediately commands the ship to start turning away. 335. Not
Oh,
enough. The captain shouts, 340. The captain yells, 350. Now,
You
remember how I
fuck.
said that accelerating to 16 knots was a fatal error? Well, that's because it's made this ship incapable of such a drastic turn. What they've got is understeer. Here's an example.
The front end is not working. You're turning, and you're just going straight. You want to go over here, but you're going to end up over here.
Yeah.
So despite the order of 350, right now the bow is still only
They can't
pointing
turn
at
like that,
327. Not nearly enough to
Oh,
miss the
no.
rock.
Oh,
And
no.
oh no, it's about to get worse. That language barrier
Dudes,
again. In these critical
this is
moments
it.
where every second counts, the helmsman wrongly relays 340. The captain snaps back, 350 starboard or we end up on the rocks. The third officer goes to assist the helmsman.
Can you imagine the panic?
Now, don't get
Like
confused by the orders
everyone's
from here. We're
screaming and
changing over
shouting
to
and just
rudder
like,
instructions.
shit, we fucked it up, boys.
The captain yells, starboard 10, starboard 20, and still it's not enough. Hard to starboard.
No,
That means
it's
as
not
hard as
enough.
it'll go. But at this point, even if they clear these rocks, they need to get the rest of the ship to swing around it. So the captain yells, midship, which centers the rudder.
Midship.
The bow is now less than 150 meters from Skull Rock. Port 10.
But the helmsman only gets to port 5 before another order is given 2 seconds later. Port 20! They might just avoid disaster here, maybe.
Hell?
But then, oh no. One
Just
more time, the
screaming.
helmsman cocks up at the
That
worst
doesn't even know what
possible
the
moment.
hell is
The
going on.
helmsman goes to starboard instead of port,
What the-
undoing the swing. 8 seconds later, he realizes the error and corrects, but it's too late.
What the
He has
fuck?
just turned a probable near miss into a sure hit. All they can do now is hold on as the bow of the ship narrowly passes by the rocks. Hard to port! The second officer yells, "We're gonna hit!" Collision.
What a fuck up, right? That's it. Bye-bye. Fancy packs are flying around. My juice. Oh no.
Downtown, Nordtown. It's day 56 of playing Russian roulette. Seems I never win.
Gonna drink all by yourself?
Somebody has to.
I hear
That's
you're
right,
a man
somebody
who's
has
good
to.
at finding folks.
I'm many things.
I'm looking for this fella. I
This
got to
ad's for the
find him.
best,
It's
right?
breaking my little heart.
Make
I'll
him
see
want
what
to
I can
get
do.
NordVPN.
I have contacts in thousands of servers in dozens of countries across the globe. And just like that, she was gone.
She was
The
gone.
only thing she left was a calling card.
Oh no.
Sometimes when you follow a case, it follows you back. NordVPN can protect my online data. But who can protect me from myself? When they said this job gets easier, it was just another lie. Forensics found his password spread all the way down the block. In a perfect world, we'd all use NordVPN. But I guess this isn't
in a
that
perfect
kind of
world, no.
story. I took the brakes off my car. Man like me never really learned how to stop.
Shut the fuck up.
I took the steering wheel out too.
Shut the
I let
fuck
the
up.
road
What
take
the-
me where I'm
What
supposed
the hell
to
is
be.
he even on about?
That's right, Toots. Your husband's dead.
Dick.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Chrysler, bitch.
Go to nordvpn.com/internet historian for a huge discount on a 2-year plan.
Wow. The music really sold it too. Da 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 da.
Ad over.
Da 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 da.
The ship hits rocks
Yeah,
on
he
the
has the
port
best
side.
advertisements.
A 53-meter gash opens up in the hull,
all
and
the time.
thousands of tons of water begin pouring in. A loud
at this
scraping
shit.
and bang is heard by all passengers.
Oh,
At the
no.
helm, there's panic.
Fancy
Rumblings
fucks are
in the dining
freaking
room.
out.
Martin awkwardly pauses his act as he's helping his assistant into the box. Meanwhile, the lady inside
Let me
is
out,
trapped
let me
and
out.
terrified.
Oh,
There's
shit.
confusion across the ship.
Let me
All
out,
of the
let me
crew
out.
off shift come back on duty. All officers run to the bridge.
She's dead.
Technical crews run down to the lower decks to assess damage. On connection with the rocks, they lose propulsion and slow to 8.3 knots. And they are now adrift.
Oh,
Close
shit.
the watertight doors at stern. Enormous volumes of
Captain
water are pouring in.
Crash.
So much so that within 29
fucked it
seconds
up.
of collision, all 6 engines stop working through flooding. 22
Oh, so
seconds
scared.
later, a
Yeah.
blackout happens.
Totally.
Lights, electrics, the water pumps too. Everything. The captain orders the helmsman hard starboard. This is the final position of the rudder
Can you
before power to
imagine?
that too
You
is
sitting there
lost.
having a good
The
time.
Costa Concordia,
your martini
now without power, is
and a
drifting
magic show
starboard,
and then shit
plunged
just like
into absolute darkness.
goes sideways.
A quick breakdown of the flooding. When the Concordia struck land, it tore open 3 watertight compartments. At first, compartment 5, which filled very rapidly. Then 6
My
more
God.
slowly,
Didn't
4
we learn
shortly after.
anything from
Then 7,
Titanic?
8, and 3. Modern ships are built to withstand 2 compartment breaches. These compartments especially, though, are a problem because they contain the engines and the electrics. These main generators give power to the whole ship. From propulsion motors to rudder to hotel functions, pretty much everything. When they went out, the ship was a functionless, sinking
Yeah.
cage.
basically just
A few seconds later, the emergency batteries for internal lighting and communications kick on.
forever.
When the lights come back on,
Taco,
Martin has
thank
vanished.
you.
He's ditched the stage. And it caused a huge panic in the theatre as passengers are trying to
Taco,
flee to their
thank you for
cabins and to
gifting the
muster stations.
membership. Thank
People
you.
already in their cabins come out and start putting on life vests. Staff rally and try to calm everyone down.
Oh, God.
Everything is fine. There's no need for vests.
Maybe
Please
choke
return to your
that ass,
cabins.
Taco.
The emergency
Choke
generator
my-
starts.
My own
All of the
saliva.
watertight doors close.
Thank you so
except
much for the
door
gifted
12,
a membership.
which is jammed.
Appreciate it. Thank
The captain
you.
calls Pilon, the chief engineer, as the ship begins to list on the port side.
Look
There's
at
water coming
this.
in? Yes, there's water. But where?
Yes,
the
there's
engine room.
water.
But a lot of water? Yes.
Yes.
There's water. You can't go down. Let's go down the other side.
So much
In a moment,
water.
we'll start the pumps. I'll let you know. In the theatre, the whole magic
But
box
my heart
apparatus
will go
slides
on.
right off the stage and falls into the crowd, further increasing panic. On the bridge,
Wait,
an
bitch
announcement
is
is
still
being
in the
prepared.
box? Are
They
you
are
kidding
going
me?
to lie to prevent
Did they just leave the bitches that's in the box? This is so tragic. Everyone is panicking and she should never left. Rumor has it she's still floating around in a box to this day.
a panic. Let's just say we have a blackout.
Oh shit. Let's just
The
say we
deputy
have a
chief
blackout.
engineer enters the engine control room. He confirms to the bridge that at least compartments 5, 6, and 7 are flooded.
Oh no.
Announcements are made.
It's just a blackout.
The captain to
Keep
inform you that
calm,
due to an
everyone.
electrical fault, which is currently under control, we're currently in a blackout.
shooting
Our
this
technicians are working
woman.
to resolve the situation, and we'll inform you of developments as they occur. Thank
Yeah,
you
the
for your
whole
attention.
fucking boat is leading and they're just like, yeah, nah,
Coincidentally,
it's
at the
just a
same time in the
blackout.
restaurant, they're playing My Heart Will Go On. And
No.
it's very much not helping the situation.
You fucking kidding me? Definitely not helping the situation playing the fucking Celine Dion.
Enters the engine control room.
Are
He
you
confirms to the
kidding
bridge
me?
that at least not helping the situation. The captain calls the Costa Crisis Unit. Roberto Ferrarini. He tells the crisis unit that they've hit a rock, that they're assessing damages, and that they are also in a blackout. The crisis office says to reverse the ship up onto shore. Well, how are you going to do that? You don't have power
steer
to
the
the rudder,
ship.
let alone the
No.
engine. Hoist
Can't
the
just
sails.
fuck off.
Anyway, around this time, the wind direction creates a starboard list, and the ship begins to turn anyway, drifting right back towards the shore, which is a very good thing because you want the ship to end up as close to shore as possible.
True.
A panicked passenger
I would just
senses
like
that something is
I
off.
would
This
just
isn't like any
leave
electrical problem
and
that she's
start
ever seen.
swimming.
Plus, there was a massive crashing noise, and now the ship is tilting. So, she contacts her daughter in Italy. The daughter then calls the police, and the police call the harbour master. While that goes on, a conversation between Pilon and Ambrosio. The diesel is
Are you trying to tell me that there's actually like a passenger on board that calls their relatives and they are getting help and the ship staff that knows that the boat is sinking isn't doing anything?
not starting. The captain asks the engine room, but where have we made contact? Thinking that the incoming water can be reduced. Captain, here everything is lost. The electrical
Everything
panel,
is lost.
everything.
This is it.
They're saying
Bye,
at this
everyone.
point that the ship is going down. The captain calls Roberto Ferrarini again. Actually, 2 compartments have been flooded, but don't worry, the ship's stability isn't in
I
danger.
thought 4 compartment.
Passengers begin
Or
going to
3
muster stations on their
compartments.
own initiative. The cruise director
Everything
says,
is
"We have a
fine.
lot of people at
Yeah.
muster stations that I do not want to fall overboard.
No,
do we
no,
make an announcement to
everything
tell
is
them to go to the
fine."
lounges?" Bozio says, "I think that's best." The harbour master from Livorno calls the ship. The captain tells them that we just have a blackout. How long
We
has
just
this
have a
blackout been
blackout.
going
What
on?
Dude, come on. As a captain, and you must know at this point that shit is fucked, right? And then you talk to the harbor master and just like, nah, it's just a blackout, you know? Yeah, in denial. He's so in denial.
About 20 minutes. Have you
Yeah,
asked
and that bit
passengers
of
to put on
water
life
never hurt
vests?
anyone,
It's just a
right?
blackout. I gotta go. The
I
harbour
gotta go.
master is
Gotta sort
suspicious.
out this
He says to
blackout,
his
yeah.
superiors that he thinks something more is going on. He calls a patrol boat to the area and asks them to
This
look.
is insane.
Another problem. The
Abraham, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful birthday today. And I tried to eat the entire cake in one sitting. I probably will. It's when I had it when I was little. My tummy hurt when I ate it all in one day in my past. Yeah, too much cake is not good, right? I got this nice apple cake, and then I got a chocolate sponge cake. So I actually have 2 cakes. Yeah. Lots of cake.
Fan on the emergency
cake. One
diesel
is
generator
homemade and
isn't
one is
working
store
properly.
bought.
Pilon manually has to turn the thing on and off with a screwdriver so that it doesn't overheat and cause a
I'm
fire.
probably gonna eat it over
The captain is on the phone
days.
to the lower decks,
And thank
asking
you again for
pointless
super
questions
chat. Thank
like,
you.
is it still flooded? Yes, it is. The captain is essentially in
Is it
denial
still
of the
flooded?
situation.
No.
The
all
harbour
good
master
now.
calls again. Finally, he says, the ship is taking on water through an opening in the left side and the ship is listing. He qualifies with, no one dead or injured. The harbour master asks if
Is
he
it
needs
still
help.
flooded?
Just a tugboat? When in reality, they need a full rescue.
Please tell me it's not flooded
With 3
anymore.
compartments flooded, the captain finally realizes that
Can you
things are
imagine,
really
like,
bad,
the
and they are
panic?
not going to improve. The Coast Guard orders every available ship to the
Oh,
sea.
shoot.
Meanwhile, up with the passengers, the cruise director's assistant says,
Thank you, Luxury.
everything's
Thank
under control.
you."
Please return to your cabins or hang about in the lounges, no problem. She said this despite knowing it was wrong and that it further endangered lives. Most passengers at this point, though, aren't listening to this nonsense, and they're busy figuring out how to abandon ship. Bang, bang,
Oh,
bang, bang,
God.
bang, bang. Local television has already picked up the story,
how
and
is
they begin
supposed to leave the
broadcasting
ship?
live radio feed
Return to the
from the bridge.
cabins?
Captain, the passengers are going on board the boats. Okay, let them go to shore. So then general emergency? Wait, let me talk to Ferrarini. We risk the emergency generators that do not have cooling. It has cooling problems, 100 degrees. The cooling
no.
fan has stopped. Pilon calls the bridge and tells the safety officer they need to evacuate. The safety officer relays this to the captain, but after no response, he orders the engine room to evacuate on his own. The captain says, no, stay. We're leaving.
We are
So
leaving.
what do we do? General emergency? The captain tells Ferrarini that he's abandoning ship. Abandoned ship! Another announcement is made.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention.
How long ago is it since they crashed? I mean, they can only imagine, right? What? It must have been like several hours, because it kind of like, I don't know, feels like it. Oh God, over an hour? And now he's like ordering and we're leaving ship.
Please, the situation is under control. Please remain calm. And at this time, proceed to your...
Everything is under control, guys. Trust me, bro.
The Livorno
crashed
Coast Guard
ships
calls
before.
again. The captain declares distress. The Coast Guard officially calls for rescue operations. They contact Pietro Mille, the helicopter base commander, who then calls in every available pilot. As he rushes down to the
Yeah,
helicopter
with my
base,
money
Pilon
back.
shuts down the emergency generator for the final time.
No
The first
refunds.
rescue vessel arrives. By this point, the lifeboats are already going.
Crashes included. Clemens, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Happy birthday, Juju. I wish you an awesome one. Good to have you back and hope things are going well for you. Thank you, Clemens. Thank you so much. Well, I caught the summer sickness. Yes. Got the best birthday gift, the summer sickness. Yeah, the fever. But other than that, I'm good. I'm happy. And hopefully I'm going to survive this, right?
Luckily, the ship is very close to shore. Oh,
Yeah,
perhaps
you could
too close to
almost
shore.
jump
The ship
shore,
forcefully
right?
runs aground, creating an uneven center of gravity.
Oh, no.
And it begins heavily listing starboard. The
Oh,
captain
no.
issues a general emergency on board.
Oh,
The announcement to
shit.
abandon ship is finally called and alarms ring out. And with that comes panic. And now that they're listing, with many of the lifeboats too awkwardly positioned to enter the water, there aren't enough readily available and they have to start going back and forth to the shore, picking people up
fuck.
and dropping them off. The
Oh,
patrol boats
fuck.
report to the Livorno harbour master that the ship has run aground and is listing heavily.
Tilt that bitch.
So the harbour master asks the captain about it, and the captain says, no,
Yeah, it was part
the
of the
ship
plan.
is still floating. In fact, we're trying to
The ship
maneuver
is
it
still
onto the
floating.
shore.
We're
They
just
know he's
tilting a
lying.
bit.
Hold on, I'm reversing it. Beep, 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 beep.
The captain then says to bottom out the starboard anchor. So they drop out the anchors, but let out too much chain, effectively rendering them useless. The deputy mayor of Giglio, Mario Pellegrini, and tobacco shop owner
Blow your
Giovanni
nose.
Rossi arrive at the
Yes.
harbour. They watch
I
the scene
did.
unfold. As the first of the lifeboats arrive on shore, the deputy mayor
Schniffles.
takes the initiative and races to board one of the lifeboats, returning to the ship, and starts
Oh my
trying to
God,
find
what
someone
kind
in
of
charge.
hero
He
is
gives
this?
up and starts helping passengers. Scatino tells everyone to leave and take radios,
Who's this
but
hero?
not before changing out of his uniform and
Approaching
into a
from
nice
nowhere.
suit.
Wait, I missed
Priorities.
this.
Hold on, I'm reversing it. Beep, 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 beep.
The
What the
captain
hell?
then says to bottom out the starboard anchor. So they drop out the anchors, but let
Wait,
out too
wait, I
much
need to
chain,
watch this,
effectively
guys.
rendering them useless. The deputy mayor of Giglio, Mario Pellegrini, and tobacco shop owner Giovanni Rossi arrive at the harbour. They watch the scene unfold. As the first of the lifeboats arrive on shore, the deputy mayor takes the initiative
The
and races
deputy
to board one of
mayor?
the lifeboats, returning to the ship, and starts trying to find someone
Are
in
you
charge.
kidding me?
He gives
Look
up
at
and
this
starts
guy.
helping passengers.
It's just like
Scatino tells everyone to leave and take
hero
radios,
of the day.
but not before changing out of
Deputy
his
mayor.
uniform and into a nice suit. Priorities.
What?
Dimitri Christidis and Sylvia Caron
Priorities? Are you kidding me? The boat is fucking sinking. Everything's gone, and then he changes into a nice suit.
Veronica leave with him. The maitre d' and Sir Morton both get out of there. By this point, approximately 300 people are still on the ship. Millet reaches
Shit.
the helicopter base. The first
Shit.
helicopter, a slow-moving Augusta Bell, was already rising from the tarmac for the hour-long flight south. Bozio is the last crew member left on the bridge, coordinating evacuation. He then leaves to help passengers board lifeboats. The bridge is now abandoned. And then, the ship's black box stops working. Apparently there were technical problems with it. That means, from here, things are going to get a little foggy in detail. A while later, rescue helicopters arrive,
All
but
of
they're
a sudden, the
struggling to
black
find the
box
ship
stops,
because they're expecting it to
working.
still be
I
well
don't
above
believe
water.
it, guys. They
Passengers are
tampered with
scaling
it.
down the port side by ladder as lifeboats return to pick them up.
Are you kidding me?
Joke. Oh my goodness.
Ship would drown.
joking, amor.
Passenger
Yes.
is not allowed to make a film
I'm
movie.
allowed.
Who say you are?
A second helicopter,
Of course
a
you're
faster
allowed.
model,
You're in a public
sets
area.
off. The ship stops healing and comes to a final resting place. Now the Coast Guard calls the captain because he's just learned that the captain has abandoned ship. The captain claims,
Captain has abandoned ship.
No, actually, I slipped and I fell into one of the lifeboats. I'm a klutz. But now that I'm on board, I may as well head back
fell
to
into
shore.
one of the
DeFalco tells the
lifeboats.
captain to get the fuck back on board. And the captain kind of acts confused.
What a fuck up. Get the fuck back on the boat. It's just like, no, I had to leave, you know.
And then effectively refuses. So the captain makes it to shore. From here, we only have mainstream
Oh,
news
goodness.
reports to rely on, so it's not going to be super accurate. But they say that Giglio's police chief then finds 110 survivors on the rocks at Point Gabbianara. And among them is the captain. It's not known whether the captain helped anyone while he was there, and in fact, the police chief claimed that he just sat on the rocks and watched other people do the rescuing.
Wow.
A while
What an
later, a
asshole.
rescue boat picks up the captain and takes him to the harbour. He speaks to the police. He then finds the ship's onboard chaplain, Father Rafael Molina, and cries to him for about 15 minutes. Then he goes to the harbour master's office to receive probably
cry
the
for me,
biggest
Captain,
dressing
I'll
down
cry.
of his entire life. Port authorities ask
I'm
the
not going
taxi
down with
driver
that ship,
to
no.
take the captain back to his hotel. The captain takes the 30-second cab ride to the Bahamas hotel. According to the cabbie, he was beaten like a dog. He was cold and afraid. He had only asked me where he could buy a pair of fresh socks. But then he perked right up again and gave an interview to a news crew. He told them that he was the last to leave.
The captain is usually the last to abandon ship. What happened, Captain?
We were the last to leave the ship.
I
All they
bet
said,
he
they
was the
rescuers searched
first.
for people on
He
the
was
ship.
the first one
On
off.
Sunday morning, a South Korean couple was
already
found in
left
their cabin,
before the boat
safe
started
but
sinking.
shivering. They had slept through the crash and woke up unable to exit their cabin.
Oh no.
The last survivor, Manrico Giampandroni, was found with a broken leg. He was the cabin's service director. In the end, 32 people died. The final body wasn't discovered until nearly 3 years later. A crew member, Russell Rebello, and it's believed that he died a hero helping passengers off the ship. The Costa Concordia was the largest cruise ship disaster since the Titanic. And then there's the ship. This is what happens to a 110,000-ton cruise liner when it's left half rolled over in the ocean.
God, that looks freaky, man. Freaky. Yeah, what was he thinking, huh? Eyeballing, like, yeah, let's get close to the coast. Ay, ay, ay.
But this isn't the end.
$570.
It's just the halfway point.
Gone.
What most people know is that the Costa Concordia had crashed, many dead, and that the captain abandoned ship like a coward. But there's a whole veritable spaghetti of details to untangle. Let's dive in. There they are. The deets.
Spaghetti. Insane. Oh, not the food, yeah, right? Dude,
The Costa Concordia was more than just a floating resort. There's a mall. Because
you're a captain, you crashed like several ships in previously, and there are a bunch of people working on the bridge that can't even communicate in Italian or English. So, like, what the fuck? Communication is, like, super duper fucking important, right? Can't just stand there and just, can't talk to the guy. It's no wonder shit goes sideways. Communication is the key, right? And then the coward just leaves his own boat. And this guy calls him up, like, get the fuck back to the boat. You need to be there, right? Just, no.
Casino. Cha-ching, cha-ching. This iron chest was full of safes and cash registers and expensive fittings. And there were plenty of gamers prepared to sneak by authorities.
Maybe it was all planned, right? Maybe it was all like, I don't know, they had
and
to
try their luck in the hot zone.
They paid him.
Within days, police divers reported that valuable items, once seen lying around the ship, were now missing.
Wet socks?
High-end liquor, expensive furniture, dining sets, cash from the casino, cash registers, jewelry and display cabinets, safes, Japanese woodblock prints by famous 18th century artists.
Of course, it must be perfectly looking.
As well as the iconic bell, which hung from the bridge of the ship. It was never found. Who steals a big fuck-off bell? Even the server admins were getting involved. 4 divers who were part of the company contracted to refloat the Concordia were spotted on CCTV, sneaking out to the ship. A patrol boat was dispatched, and the men were caught inside the fancy suites with rucksacks full of stolen goods. The 4 men are charged with stealing and thieving and pinching. Later on, stolen as well as legitimate items found their way to Amazon and eBay. Chips from the casino, postcards, and cabin access cards became highly sought after souvenirs.
It even has a watermark.
Some Australian guy even made a listing for the ship itself, advertising it as buyer to collect. And although there were plenty of bidders, eBay pulled the plug.
Oh no, $1,000 buy a tilt-over ship?
I know you want to see Scatino go to jail, and we'll get to that. But first, we have to talk about someone else.
Did he go to jail, though?
Dominika Samorton.
That was a close one.
There was speculation that she was on the bridge that evening because she was the captain's mistress.
Oh.
Tense media
this is
speculation.
Getting juicy, guys. This is getting juicy. I thought, like, oh yeah, story is over. What the hell is he gonna go on about? Yeah, people loot after boat is abandoned. That's like, you know? That's what you do with shipwrecks, right? Shipwreck diving and stealing all the gleamy, shiny gold. This is some juicy background here. Captain's girlfriend
reports that her presence distracted the captain.
They both denied their love for years and maintained that they were just friends. Although she did later admit to the media that she found him handsome. And how could you not?
You were so fucking precious when you
so fucking precious.
But she says there was no romantic link between them.
Some people would like to believe, they want to know I have something with him. It's more interesting.
Yeah,
it's like,
there's a bit of smidgy going on.
Story.
Miss Sir Morton also loved the spotlight, however.
Oh, everyone! Oh, look!
And took several
Oh,
interviews.
everyone, look at me!
But as the pressure mounted upon her, she began making ominous threats to Scatino, saying he must confess, and that you have but 1 week to come clean.
Oh, shit.
But things from here get weird.
Spicy.
Sir Morton is a bit of a wild card. In a subsequent interview, she claimed a helicopter came to the ship well before the other rescue craft to take away a package. Huh? And what was that package? Drugs, apparently.
What? Drug
So rumors began that the ship was running narcotics
Outrageous.
for the mafia. And not without cause. A number of cruise
mafia
ships,
was
even
involved with
recently, have been
drugs?
caught trafficking drugs. As an
Guys,
aside,
this is getting more
Scatino
and
was
more-
tested for
This is getting more and more juicy. Man. You can't even make movies like this. Like, you couldn't even make up the story for a movie. You couldn't. Like, the corrupt captain crash with the seductive Italian girlfriend, like the mistress, and now dealing with drugs, crashing and exploding boats. Fucking awesome, man. Dingo's Cranberry, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. Hi everyone and Juju, hello. And thank you for subscribing, thank you. Maybe it's good to see you.
drugs immediately.
Not Italian, Moldovan. Oh, sorry, Moldovan. Not Italian. Not the sexy Italian girlfriend, just Moldovan.
After the crash, he tested negative for drugs in his system, but trace amounts of cocaine were found in a hair sample.
Sweden, Switzerland, you know,
less dry.
Italy,
Nonetheless, the Concordia was
Moldova.
searched and no drugs were
Same.
reportedly ever found. How did we get here? Oh, right, a helicopter. Sir Morton commented on it again the next day and said, actually, that helicopter was just for the captain as a means of evacuation from the ship. Okay, wait. So she expected to get
Wait,
some
what?
sort of first-class rescue while everyone else was still stuck on the ship? Wait, how did we get here? Oh, right, sex with the captain. Divers were quick to hit.
Do you think that they planned this fucking operation so she could smuggle off the package from the cruise ship? And so the helicopter would arrive, and so it would all make sense. He actually crashed the ship on purpose, so he could deliver the cocaine and you know, cover up the story or something.
Head to the captain's cabin, where they found Miss Sir Morton's lingerie and other articles of clothing, as well as a makeup bag. The jig was up, but they continued denying it. Sir Morton mostly faded from international attention.
Wait, didn't someone also fall asleep on the bridge, and that's the whole reason they crashed in the first place? Wasn't this how it started? I mean, to tell me the captain had so much sex, he actually was so sexually exhausted, he fell asleep on duty. So it's all her fault.
Until she was told to appear before the court to present witness testimony. The judge pressed her to be truthful about their relationship, or she would be held in contempt.
Either tell me the truth or shut up.
So finally, she admitted it.
Bitch.
Yes, I had a sentimental relationship with the captain.
Stop.
But now, stop asking about my private life.
She was indeed the captain's lover.
What is up, Trouble Alert Nation?
See, the truth always comes out, guys. I don't know why bitches always lie that they don't have a boyfriend. Don't understand. Can't hide that shit. It always comes out, guys. Impossible. Golos bitches going like, no, I'm single, ready to mingle.
Scatino cheated on his wife with C. Mortan. Oh my god!
Oh no.
She and Scatino had been having an affair for several weeks. She also said that on the night she boarded, she didn't have a ticket.
Ticket, please.
And didn't need to pay because nobody questions you when you're the captain's lover. Naturally, she gave another confusing interview after leaving court.
So she wasn't even supposed to be on the boat?
Today is the second time I died, because the first time I died in the night of the crash with my psychological brain and problems. And today I died the second time.
What? She died twice?
Of course, people find out something that I...
She's some kind of fucking Sekiro? Like, Shadows died twice? She died twice? What the... She died.
Try to hide.
Subsequent to the trial, she used her fame in Moldova to become a political activist, often appearing on television and radio and in articles covering protests, accompanied by pictures of her being arrested by police.
I don't remember this at all. Like, this was on television all the time. I don't remember this at all about her. Crazy.
It was some stuff about victims of violence, women's rights,
Girl power.
yada yada yada. And interestingly,
girl
part of a
power.
push to block the sale of shares of
She died
Moldova's
for
train
her
network
sins.
to Russia.
Sure.
Other than that, I don't really know what she's been up to. Let me just check on her Oh God, not again.
Oh no, she's a stewardess now. Co-pilot.
Several civil suits were quickly lodged
no.
against Costa Crociere,
no.
and their parent company, Carnival Cruises, immediately saw a share drop of 23%.
That's it.
Don't beat.
Passengers sought
Stop it.
compensation for their damaged mental health, lost belongings, and loved ones.
Either they allowed him to divert from his course, or they didn't know where their billion-dollar ship was.
Within a few days, facing financial and media pressure, the CEO attempted to join the bandwagon against the captain and the crew.
That was not the ordinary route that the ship was taking at the time, and was not only taking, but the time the ship was...
Claiming that the ship was
Yeah,
not
today,
approved to
like, what the
deviate
fuck?
from the route. But that wasn't
the
true.
fuck are you
Approval
talking
isn't
about?
required if the ship is deviating
Get
by
to
less
the
than 15
point.
miles, or that it was against company rules. Also untrue, because investigators found that they didn't have any rules about deviating route, and they tacitly encouraged sail by salutes. Now, in response to the civil suits, Costa Crociere offered passengers 11,000 euros each as compensation.
Wow.
That's kind of small.
11,000 euros, about $14,000, is the minimum compensation under international law when a ship is abandoned.
This was to reimburse them for their tickets, as well as any costs they...
That's not much, right? They must have lost so much more. Clemens, thank you for the bits. Thank you. Are we glad this level of drama doesn't happen with the VTuber community? What with the cocaine and backstabbing, lying, and the concept of court? I mean, soon, Clemens. Who knows what's gonna happen when I'm like world famous and super duper rich, right? And have my own private yacht, and then I don't know. Start hanging out with rock stars, and I bet there's gonna be like cocainium involved in, I don't know, crazy captains, love stories. Yeah. Ticket is probably 2/3 of that money. I don't know what you pay for such a cruise ship, but I bet it's like 10K or something for a week, you know, to get there, and so that's not, it's
accrued and having to...
it doesn't feel like much money. I don't know, these fancy fucks, they must party like crazy. Yes, my love, one's worth is 11,000 euro. Checks out. Yes. That's all you get. Take it or leave it. No, I bet they, of course, they're screwing people over.
who unexpectedly traveled home early.
And that was supposed to release them from everything and anything that has to do with this accident. I cannot ask for more than this.
A lot of passengers, understandably, were
God, it's like just the dialect. It's such a fancy fuck that the kid's just like, no,
we're not
that's
too
it.
happy with this
That's
deal.
all I get.
We're not too happy.
11,000.
Everything and anything that has to do with this accident. I cannot ask for more than this.
No, you can't ask for more than this. You can't. That's it. Can't ask for more. No, 11,000, that's all you get, bitch.
A lot of passengers, understandably, were not too happy with this deal, and they refused to take the money.
We think the offer is an insult. For what these poor passengers went through, we think that the compensation being offered is not commensurate.
Here, take it.
There are some people who stay indoors and don't touch grass, so the drama is mostly for behind the scenes, fortunately. Yeah. Yeah, that's always behind the scenes. Fucking drama, man. So over it. So over it.
Compensation being offered is not commensurate.
Later, Costa Crociere would lodge a plea deal with the Tuscany court to pay a €1 million fine to avoid a criminal trial.
I love that her name is so long. So it doesn't fit her. It doesn't fit the sign, and it just keeps going. Look, guys, it's like a
Here, take it.
Take the money.
Later, Costa Crociere would lodge a plea deal
It's just like
with the Tuscany court to pay a €1 million fine to avoid a criminal trial. The judge agrees. Costa Crociere is now off the hook for all criminal liability for the whole thing. They've washed their hands of the incident and flecked the residual droplets of responsibility onto the faces of 6 staff members. Passengers and relatives of the dead are livid that the company has been able to avoid criminal responsibility.
Offered is not commensurate.
Civil suits against the company continue. By the way, the residents of the island of Giglio also banded together and sought damages. They didn't get much.
Give me more money.
Eventually, passengers who refused the initial compensation of $11,000 joined civil parties against Scatino in his trial in 2015.
Is not commensurate.
They were awarded €30,000 each. Other cases, especially those involving lost relatives, are settled for undisclosed amounts. New York attorney Peter Renee traveled to Budapest to represent 6 real survivors.
Guys, this video never ends when you think like, okay, that's it. That's the whole story, right? Moving on, this happened, that's fucked up. But it just keeps getting more juicy. Now we're moving on to the part of scams.
Of the disaster.
At Ronay & Ronay, we personally work on every case.
And we'll work harder than anyone to get you the most money possible in the shortest amount of time.
Wow.
And while on the job,
harder
a
than
7th
anyone
case
to get
cropped
me the
up
most amount
via
of
email.
money.
An elderly woman, Alona, said,
"Help me, Mr. Ronai, for I have lost my daughter, Eva, and my 5-year-old granddaughter, Roxana."
So Mr. Renai agreed.
That's such a scam mail. Don't answer to that. Don't even open that email. Don't click on the link. This is how to get here.
To speak with her. However,
I've lost
there
my
were some
daughter.
inconsistencies in her story.
She got
Neither
kidnapped.
Eva
She
nor
got
Roxana
taken.
were on the passenger list. Odd. But Costa is known for having stowaways.
Gotcha, bitch.
Still, Mr. Renai
Stowaway.
was suspicious. They wouldn't cheaty old Petey, would they? Renai inquired further about why she was on board, especially without a ticket. Ilona said,
"Well, I don't know,
to
but you should
African
ask her
prince.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Zolt Horvath.
Yeah.
He'll know all the details."
I'm up all night. I'm going crazy, he said. But Mr. Renai was still suspicious. Because then she asked, "How much money do you think this is worth?"
Yeah, how much? How much money do you think I can get?
This is a huge red flag, Petey. In 20 years of doing this, you've never had anyone ask about money. Why now? So Mr. Renai hired an investigator and sent photos around of the missing girl. The next day, the phone rang. Oh, hoi hoi. It was the boyfriend again. Look, There's been a bit of a misunderstanding, and the child isn't missing at all.
How much money do you think I can get?
And then he claimed he was confused because he had done too many drugs the night before. Oh. Okay, can I speak to the daughter then?
I'm sorry,
At first,
I didn't mean it.
So Renee said that he didn't have to file a missing persons report.
I went a bit crazy on the party yesterday. Too many drugs, Chad. I don't recall this happening. No. How much money are they worth? Man, people come up with some brilliant shit.
Or to the police if he couldn't. The boyfriend relented.
How much money do you
that
think?
That night, Renee met with Zolt and brought
do you
the
think
police
she would
with
have done it for $500?
He speaks to the granddaughter and
just
asks
like,
her if she's seen Mum. Yeah, I saw her today. Oh, really? Yeah, we went to the park today and we went on the swings. Oh no, the jig was up. So the mum walks into the room sheepishly. It's a miracle.
Oh,
and the story changed again. Okay,
back.
I'm not dead, but I did injure my leg when I jumped from the ship.
Oh,
and then I immediately flew back to Budapest. Although don't worry about checking my leg because there are no visible marks or injuries.
How much money do you
I'm
think
beginning to think they weren't even on the boat.
Also, it turns out this lady isn't her mum, it's just a neighbour. Eventually, Renee managed to make the pair confess. And then they said, hey, we haven't done anything wrong. We haven't taken any money. And in the end, it looks like there'll be no criminal punishment for the scam because Hungary, a former communist country, has no laws against insurance fraud on the books.
I mean, the lawyer hasn't said no yet, right? He hasn't said no. He actually keeps talking to them, thinking like, maybe I should, I don't know, do something about this. He hasn't said no.
Firm that never sleeps, call 1-800-664-7.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Oh, that's a very bad idea.
Bad idea, bad idea. I love that everything explodes.
Mario, would you teach me some Italian?
Oh, of course.
Means get back on board for fuck's sake.
Okay, thanks.
Gregorio de Feltri, the naval officer who shouted at Scatino to Vada a bordo caso, became a bit of a national hero overnight in Italy. He, like the rest of the world, expected Scatino to go
Just
down
get your
with the
ass
ship.
back on the boat, you bitch.
And when the captain chickened out, De Falco was there to admonish him. And when
everyone is super sus, like seriously. It's a collection of the most sus people. And they were all on the cruise ship together. This is insane, guys.
he stopped answering the radio, he called him on his cell phone to continue putting him on blast. When the captain first reported just a blackout,
it does smell like an insurance policy. I bet this was like all planned, that they knew that the boat is gonna sink. Like, I bet he did that shit on purpose, right? It wasn't like, oh no, such an accident. No, I think he was in it, like, and they might have hired him just like, you crash our boat tonight, right? We need to get rid of some drugs and also claim the money back in an insurance. And yeah.
Didn't believe the story and immediately began preparing a rescue effort, which likely saved several lives. His actions were applauded by most Italians who were tired of their public servants being corrupt and avoiding responsibility. Accordingly, shirts sporting Vada a bordo caso were being printed by the end of the week, others setting it as their phone ringtone.
Guys.
But then,
in
September 2014, without warning,
another 10 minute. There's just so much. I mean, when it started, I thought like after 10 minutes, just like, okay, the boat sank, everything is over, moving on, that's it, that's the end of the story. Captain was an idiot, right? But then it just got more and more juicy and a lot of shit happened. Absolutely wild, crazy. Your wild party aren't an issue. Concordia was an issue. You just wait, Clemens, till I get like super rich and famous, and I have my own private yacht, And I get to party with like fancy fucks. Guys, I need to blow my nose again, so I keep the video running and I'll be right back, okay?
DeFalco was transferred to an admin role in the Coast Guard.
Hear what I said? You've been demoted.
DeFalco said that he had been passed up for promotion, that he had also not been told which admin office he was even being transferred to, and that it all effectively cancelled 10 years of his career. DeFalco was tres furioso, and there was public speculation that it was owing to bad blood between himself and Admiral Delano, his former boss. His status among the public overshadowed his superior in many ways. On the other hand, his boss said, no, it's part of a normal career progression for naval officers and that he must show more maturity and professionalism to advance his career. Now, it's hard to know what's true in office politics, so let's leave that alone. And anyway, in 2018, DeFalco said buenas noches, ya later, to the Italian Navy to become a politician. In March that year, he was elected to the Italian Senate, serving as a member for Livorno. He still serves there today.
I'm the captain now.
The day after the disaster, Schettino was taken into custody by police and underwent questioning. However, it was clear that this would not be a straightforward investigation.
Serious question.
So the judge released him under house arrest at his home in Sorrento, a town in Napoli.
How much money can I
By
get,
July of that year, the house arrest was relaxed and he was allowed within this general area.
For my dead daughter.
While under house arrest, he wrote a book with this journalist from Rai magazine. I have no idea what it says, I don't speak Italian. But goddammit, he must have some kind of charisma going on, because there's been a lot of speculation in the press that he had an affair with her as well.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Hold on, I got it. Not content with abandoning his ship, this dude is determined to abandon his wife as well. So, Schettino and 5 others are facing criminal charges.
My God, Schettino.
Straight away, everyone lodges a plea bargain with the court. And all all of those plea bargains
He's a
are
criminal
accepted,
mastermind.
except for Schettino's.
Captain
And the condition of
Gretch.
everyone's reduced sentences
So
are that
fucking
they
awesome,
must
man.
provide witness testimony
Insurance policy run
against
for 6
Schettino.
digits.
He touched me.
Ciro, Jacob, and Sylvia were all given suspended
But
sentences.
apparently you can only get like a 11,000. They would just offer 11,000, right? That's not much. How much money?
Roberto and Manrico are able to opt for community service or house arrest. Not a bad deal.
A good deal. Good deal.
Is it,
And that meant that Schettino was
good
now
deal?
all on his own. Ciro, the first officer, was the first to give his testimony. On the witness stand, he claimed that Schettino was distracted by his mistress and other guests on the bridge. That there was confusion over who was in command.
Bitch must be like fucking. What kind of distraction did she cause? I mean, come on, guys. Yeah, his lover distract him. Did she give him a blowjob on the bridge, and he lost control over the rudder and just crashed into the island? Is this what happened?
Then it was Jacob's turn, and he said Lamau XD because he didn't actually bother.
What the fuck? Now it's really like VTubing, backstabbing and then abandoning time. It is. It's like VTubing. Oh, I can't. This is the best story ever. It had so many parts where it's just like, okay, shit is over. Moving on, but then just keep spinning back. Fucking VTubers. So much backstabbing, so much bullshit, right? It's like
With his testimony or his reduced sentence, he just fled the country. It took authorities 12 months to eventually track him down on the outskirts of Jakarta. And when they said, "Oi, we still want that witness testimony," he just scalped again. And he hasn't been found since. After that, Ferrarini gave his testimony, then look, we don't have time to relitigate the whole trial, so let's just go straight to the verdict. Guilty!
Everyone guilty.
Schettino was found guilty of multiple manslaughter, causing a shipwreck, abandoning ship, and lying to authorities.
Wow.
He is sentenced to 16 years and 1 month in prison.
Whoa.
But wait, there's still the appeals.
But wait.
The appeals trial begins.
See, guys, what do you think? Like, okay, that's it. This man is going to prison for a very long time. 16 years is a very long time for crashing the boat and just because you happen to get a blowjob and not paying attention on where you're driving, you know, and then crashing into Italy. And yeah, it's not good, but 16 years, but wait, there's more, right? It never ends.
And the verdict on the appeal? Surprise! Rejected.
What?
So Schettino's lawyers appealed again. And the verdict on the final appeal?
Schettino made multiple attempts to secure a plea deal, but was denied by the prosecution each time. The prosecution called for Schettino to be sentenced to 26 years in prison, calling the incident a Titanic affair.
Oh, okay, I see what you did there.
Schettino was not. His lawyers stated that he was waiting outside of the jail for the ruling, so that if his plea was rejected, he could immediately start serving his sentence. And with that, 5 years and 4 months after the disaster, he was finally in a cell.
I will not be making any comment.
No comment. Bitch in prison now.
The salvage operation was enormous. It took over 2 years and cost an estimated $1.2 billion.
Whoa!
Beginning in early 2012, they first spent 2 months pumping fuel from the ship's tanks.
That's
At the same time,
guys.
they had to pump seawater in so that the balance wasn't affected and the ship didn't slide around. In early 2013, a platform was built under the ship to prevent it from falling further. Sponsons were then attached to the sides of the ship and cables attached to the underwater platform. The sponsons were then dragged underwater
build a new one
and
for
opened
that
up
money.
to allow
Exactly.
the ocean to
Just
fill them.
like,
The
for
ship could then
fuck's
roll
sake.
over properly.
For
By late
fuck's
2013,
sake,
the ship was upright once more. The sponsons were then attached to the side of the ship to help keep it balanced. It now rested partially above water and crews could walk around safely. By July 2014, the water was removed from the sponsons and compressed air was pumped in to lift the ship.
Damn.
And she was ready to cruise again. This time to a
She
port
was ready
in
to
Genoa.
cruise again.
It was a 4-day towing journey
Book your
to the
tour
docks
now,
where a
Chad.
2-year process of dismantling and recycling would begin.
Let's go.
That same
on a
weekend of the
cruise
towing,
ship.
Schettino was busy. He was the guest of honor at a
The
white
same
party
captain
on
and
an
all.
island in the Bay of Naples. He appeared on the front page of a local newspaper,
Wow.
flanked by 2 of Italy's most eligible bachelorettes.
Of course.
Anyway,
So
these are the things that I remember from the Costa Concordia. That sweet maiden of the sea.
honestly, I don't
And
remember
as for
this
you,
boat
little
at
fella.
all. Don't remember this at all.
Well, it's time to return you.
My heart will
whence you
go
came.
on. The bell.
6 quick things. 1. NordVPN, good product, check them out. Number 2. There's a new video on the second channel. You probably didn't see it because it was temporarily restricted. Now it's not. Enjoy. 3. If you've never seen the second channel before, give it a go. It's a different type of content, but we put a lot of production into it. It's not just offcuts. 4. There are a couple of secret channels as well, but I ain't telling you where they are. 5. No more 45-minute videos on the main channel.
I can't even maintain like one channel, dudes. Like one channel for me is more than enough. Yeah.